regarding the Stefon Diggs situation, and forgive me, I work at night. I don't listen to all the shows, so I sometimes have to be reminded of the sound that we hear throughout the day. I wasn't aware that the Stefon Diggs situation and being seen on a boat with a substance, allegedly, would lead to the Patriots potentially releasing Stefon Diggs. So when I heard the comment, my jaw dropped. I doubted it. And throughout the night, I'm like, are they serious? Like they might release Stefon Diggs. Now, this is just hearsay, right? We don't know what the Patriots are going to do. But I just think that I should remind everybody, because I reminded you last night, the Patriots roster's still not great. The offensive line still in question. Their defensive line, they gave up they were one of the worst rushing defenses in all of football last year. But let's not forget, Drake May should be having this year two ascension that everyone thinks is just going to happen, but the receivers aren't great. He's got a new offensive coordinator, a defensive-minded head coach. There's a lot of things there. He really doesn't have a backup chasing him. We can get into them trading Joe Milton and how it looks now, but I'll save that for another night, Skaz, this summer. What I'm thinking about right now is all the struggles that we have talked about when it comes to Drake May. It might have to do with the talent. So yesterday, I kind of went, hey, this guy's turnover prone and he's struggling at practice, but I thinking about it, I've had a night to marinate on it. It's because their team stinks. The receivers aren't good, and Stefon Diggs isn't there. So when you hear Drake May struggling, I don't think I've mentioned that. So that's where I wanted to lead off tonight. Stefon Diggs isn't there. We can talk about that. Why isn't he there? They already gave him $4 million. The Patriots have leverage here. They really do. I don't really think from afar they do, because they need a damn good wide receiver on the football field. They need a receiver that can help Drake May. They need a receiver that can elevate them. They need a receiver that can make them attractive. They need a receiver in general. It was the Patriots that weren't aggressive in free agency, and they couldn't land anybody. So they were left with Stefon Diggs off an injury, but they had to give him some money. They had to give him a little bit of a guarantee. So all the talk about potentially moving on from Stefon Diggs, it has nothing to do with that boat. Now, the boat isn't good. The video isn't good. The substance isn't good. All that. I don't care. None of that bothers me at all. What does bother me, though, if they don't like that he's not there and they want to use the boat as a reason to maybe get out of this thing, they don't have to pay him that $12 million. We'll get into that a little bit more here, but the Patriots probably can't actually discipline Stefon Diggs after the video. But are you now wondering, was it a mistake signing him in the first place? I'd like to lead it off there tonight. 617-779-0985. I said I wouldn't say the phone number, but now you know it. Is Diggs good or bad for Drake May? The reports were they didn't want to go after a diva receiver because of Drake May's development. Then, days later, they signed Stefon Diggs. This is the worst, or was one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL a year ago. The Patriots need Stefon Diggs, and they know it. I think he's worth the risk. You want my opinion? He's worth the risk. You want a top receiver? You're going to get a diva. You want a top receiver? He wants to get paid. You want a top receiver? He wants the damn football. The Patriots need Stefon Diggs. They know it. I'm sure they're upset he's not with the team, which is probably why you heard the comments from Mike Vrabel. Do you know what else the Patriots know? They know that if he doesn't work for it, they know that if he's a problem, and they know that if he doesn't show up, they know that they don't have to pay him. So, did you see those videos yesterday of Stefon Diggs working out? I'm sure he knows that too. So, I don't know what the conversation was between Vrabel and Diggs or Kraft and Diggs or whatever. It has nothing to do with that damn boat. Boats and Joes. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got everything to do with the fact that they want him there, they want to see him, and that they have to make a decision to pay him $12 million. And we are talking about the Crafts and the New England Patriots here, people. If he doesn't show that he wants it, if he doesn't show that he's working his way back, if he shows that he's a risk, if he shows that he's a problem, they can choose not to pay him. And now, how does that make you feel now when I ask, was it a risk? He's worth it to me, if you ask. He's worth the risk. They need Diggs. They know it. Do they want to pay for it? He's going to have to work on that. And that's why I think we saw the videos yesterday of Diggs working out. So I ask you all, was Stefon Diggs worth the risk? Was signing him a mistake? I say no, but you want a number one receiver. As Skaz likes to say, you got to deal with number one receiver problems. And if you don't think he's a number one receiver, they have no others. So when we talk about the struggles of Drake May this offseason through OTAs, through whatever, how many days it's been, it's because they suck at receiver. They know it. They know they have to pay him. But do they? Was Stefon Diggs worth the risk? And are the Patriots regretting signing him? You can react about that. I agree with what Breer just said. I think Vrabel and him had a conversation. I think they told him to stay away after this. Funny how all those personal videos of Stefon Diggs working out were leaked yesterday. Should I even say leaked? They were definitely posted. I don't think there's enough there on this video on the boat, so I'm out on that one. I'm not going to use that one anymore. He's probably already spoken to the Patriots. This from Ben Volin this morning of the Boston Globe. Though the video will show Diggs holding a pink substance, there's there's not much the Patriots or the NFL can do about it by the letter of the law. The team probably can't void the $20 million fully guaranteed in this contract or fine him for conduct detrimental. And with no police involvement and no confrontation of the substance, the video almost certainly isn't enough to land Diggs in the NFL's drug program or violate the personal conduct policy. Of course, the NFL has declined to talk about this. Mike Vrabel can't even express displeasure that Diggs has missed a few organized team activities lately. This is a voluntary part of the offseason program, said Vrabel. The message will be the same for all our players. But Vrabel does have every right to be steamed at his new star receiver, says Volin. And to question if Diggs is going to be worth the money and trouble. Vrabel, of course, trying to build the culture, blah, blah, blah. Diggs is the new guy looking for to prolong his career. He should be the veteran leader in the young, unproven receiver room. Yet, the Patriots aren't even out of OTAs yet, and Vrabel is having to answer for questionable behavior by the star receiver. So I did want to get into some of the money here, but just getting back to what Vrabel mentioned, he mentioned making great decisions 3 times. Great decisions. These weren't. Diggs isn't naive. He's 31 years old. He's entering his 11th NFL season. To even allow cameras, phones, while partying on a boat shows poor judgment. I think we all agree on that. So let's consider the Stefon Diggs situation. He's an aging receiver coming off a torn ACL. He's working with a new coaching staff. And he's on a contract that's essentially year to year with only $1.7 million fully guaranteed in 2026. Diggs also has a $200,000 off-season workout bonus for participating in 27 of the 32 OTAs. Most receivers in this situation would show up, collect the easy bonus, and try to impress his coaches with his rehab and practice habits. Diggs has been in and out of Foxborough this spring, participating in some of the OTAs, but missing only 2 practices that have been open to the media. It's unclear if Diggs is on track to earn his bonus, but he hasn't been here much. At least that's what Kayshon Boutte said. This coming from an agent, Joel Corey. If you're injured, why aren't you out there rehabbing? And again, he's a salary cap expert now for CBS. So unless you're some sort of arrangement with the team, you're not doing yourself any favors to get the benefit of the doubt if you don't have a good enough year. Now, they're not going to avoid this guy's contract. I think it would be stupid on their behalf if they cut Stefon Diggs. Unless there's things behind the scenes we have no clue about that they don't want to tolerate. But financially, there's not much the Patriots can do. And we'll get into the guarantees in a second here, but if they release him and he signs with another team, $6.3 million in salary and per game bonuses this year and $1.7 million in salary next year, Diggs would have has earned a $12 million signing bonus. So even though the Patriots have only paid $4 million so far, so let me get that out of the way. There's a $12 million signing bonus that they owe Stefon Diggs. They've only paid $4 million so far, with $4 million due in October and $4 million due next March. They will have a hard time winning any arbitration if they try to withhold those payments. Quote, absent of a positive test or arrest, you're going to have a hard time finding a way to get out of that. That's from that Agent Corey guy. The one caveat is that the $12 million is contingent upon Diggs passing a physical with regard to his ACL. It is unclear if Diggs has passed that physical yet. And in theory, the Patriots could flunk him on the physical and try to unwind the contract. And Skaz, that's where I'm going with all of this. So I ask you, Skaz, I'll bring you in. They can flunk him. Oh, they flunked many people, right? David Andrews just retired, got flunked. Guys get flunked. It happens. He flunks the ACL test. Out on the rest of that guarantee. And I wouldn't put it past the Patriots to do that. And this is why I think Stefon Diggs knows they need him. I think this is why Stefon Diggs, in a way, I kind of wish he would show up. But, like, he's looking at that $200,000. Why do I have to show up? No, it is voluntary. So I'll ask you, Skaz, like I asked everybody else. Do you think the Patriots now are looking at Stefon Diggs in the signing as a mistake, and do you think he's worth the risk?
Do I think he's worth the risk? I'm not sure. What is the risk? Are they playing football this weekend? I understand they're frustrated with the video. He did, people say, he didn't do anything wrong. He did something wrong. Do what you want on your own time, but, maybe you keep the cameras away if that's what you're going to be doing. So could they flunk him? Sure, they could flunk him. Like you mentioned, they've flunked numerous people in the past, but does that help Drake May? Does that help this football team? So we're going to get the moral, high ground Patriots now. I'm not really sure I'm too much of a fan of that from, positions they've taken in the past with certain players. So I want the Patriots to win football games. I don't think Stefon Diggs was hurting anybody. He made a mistake. I think, he would probably admit that. Maybe we will hear him admit that at some point. Maybe we won't. Maybe they won't address it at all. I find that hard to believe, but I think for Drake May's sake, for the Patriots' sake, for Josh McDaniels' sake, I bet you he's petitioning to keep Stefon Diggs on this team. So, I don't want to hear the money excuse. It's not that much money. It's some money, but I think it's been. If they cut him, I would be very surprised, Joe. I think you're kind of in that same camp. I heard Beetle had pretty much the same reaction yesterday that you did last night when that idea was thrown around because you hadn't heard it yet. So, I'm with you. Did Stefon Diggs make a mistake? Sure, he made a mistake.
And you don't care, and I don't care.
No, I don't care.
You don't care. The only mistake is that he was around
cameras,
and he should know it after 11 years.
How's he look in the workout videos? Does he look like he's going to fail that test?
He looked pretty good to me.
Doesn't look like he's going to fail that test to me.
Okay, now let's have some fun with this one.
What message does that send to other free agents?
There you go.
Other guys. You want to become a destination New England? You want to help your young quarterback? We're going to drop the hammer on Stefon Diggs for a 30-second video with no context. Does it look great? No, but You're not in the position to be making these decisions. If this is a 12-win team with Tom Brady, let's have the conversation, but that's not the position you're in right now.
I've said this all along, guys. I don't care. So I know that people want the Patriots to be competitive and win games. So when the win total gets brought up at 8.5, I always go under, always. Because I know they want to win games and they want to be competitive and want the fan base back in, etc. They want to be competitive. I get it. The number one priority for the team this year should be becoming attractive, becoming a destination with Drake May. That's at least my opinion. Yeah, if you can become desirable at a place where people want to go, the winning will come. I mean, I think you got a lot of former head coaches in there who know how to coach. They know how to scheme. They're going to be ready every single week. They're going to play hard. All that's true. What's also true is you have the worst wide receiver room, or one of the worst wide receiver rooms in football. And all these Drake May struggles that I brought up yesterday. I actually pulled up the words that I used yesterday. I used bumpy as one of them. Just another bumpy, uneven, unsettled. Those are some of the words I used yesterday. But the comments on Drake May's struggle is a part of his environment. The fact that Stefon Diggs isn't there, I'm sure, is pissing them off. But the more I look at it is maybe that's why Drake May doesn't look good. That's why it's bumpy and uneven, because there's nobody that can actually catch up to his level at this point. You know what this is? You ever hear the promo when I say they've been getting wholesale deals for years? This is a Patriots contract. They're getting the scraps because nobody wanted to play here, and now you need them. But because of the money, you can punish the player or flunk him, and the rest of the team goes down with it because of your greed. So stop with the boat. I encourage the boat. I encourage Stefon Diggs to be the diva that he is. And if you don't like it, just pass the damn test, will you? Because to me, the Skaz's point too, he looks pretty good. Those videos yesterday looked like he's pretty good. Pretty good. And you know what else? There's one other thing. I did this whole thing about quarterbacks in their year two jump. Year two, right? It's always about year two. Stefon Diggs will help Drake May in year two. You know who else he helped in year two? Josh Allen. Do you know that Drake May had better statistics in his 13 games than Josh Allen hit in his 12 games in his rookie year? Who helped Josh Allen? Stefon Diggs.